All right, guys, so this is another Unsolved Mysteries out of Oregon, specifically out of Coos County. This is the case of Zachary Porter. He did go by Zack. At the time of his disappearance on July 23rd of 2013, he was only 25 years old. He had a young son at home, and he came down to the Oregon coast to sell a motorcycle and vanished. So on July 23rd of 2013, which was a Tuesday, Zack had informed his family that he had sold his motorcycle to somebody in North Bend. At the time, he lived in McMinnville, and he said that he was going to travel down from McMinnville to North Bend, Oregon, to sell the motorcycle, and that the buyer was going to give him a ride home. At some point, which there was no time that I could find, at some point during that day, he had texted his family and said that he had sold his bike and that he was returning home. Now, it has been said that the family was suspicious of this text because it kind of used language that he wouldn't normally use in punctuation. Like at the end, they said that there was a ... and that wasn't typical of the way that Zack would text. Now, I did read somewhere, I believe it was from the Coos County Sheriff's Department, that Zack was seen on video leaving a local bank, a credit union in town, but no other information has been said about that. Was he seen getting into a vehicle? Was there cameras out in the parking lot? There has been no other information about that. Also, the buyer, who I was not able to find any name, was contacted by law enforcement. He was in possession of this motorcycle, but he stated that Zack had other arrangements for his ride home, that he never was going to give him a ride home, which is kind of interesting because that's what he told his family. Why would he lie to his family about that? And that supposedly the buyer then took him to the Myrtle Wood factory where he was waiting for this friend to give him a ride home. Now, the Myrtle Wood factory is outside of the town of North Bend. It's actually on Highway 101. So where you see, I'm kind of sideways here. This is Highway 101. And then the Myrtle Wood factory is inside this huge parking lot. And it's called a factory, but it's more of like a gift shop. I don't really know what they do in there, but there's this building, there's this huge parking lot around it. Behind it is access to the dunes. Now, in the summertime, this parking lot is packed with ATV riders, with all their RVs are parked here. It's packed. I'm not sure how it was in 2013, but I know the last 10 years it would have been packed. We are not sure what time of day or time frame that Zack was taken to the Myrtle Wood factory, but at some point he was. So for those who are not familiar with Oregon, everybody knows Portland, and then Salem is down below that. McMinnville is right out of Salem. And then we are in North Bend, Oregon, where is the red, and I live in North Bend, Oregon as well. Now, the Myrtle Wood factory is about, I don't know, not even 10 miles from the town of North Bend, but it is off the highway. It's isolated out there. There's nothing but dunes, Highway 101, and just really not much out there. So basically, if he left McMinnville around 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, he would have gotten to North Bend easily by 3 o'clock. And then the sale must have happened, and if he was indeed at a credit union, that had to have been before 5 o'clock. So sometime after 5 p.m., Zack goes silent. He's never been seen, heard from since that time. So where is Zack Porter? I will say that the buyer has been listed as a person of interest, but he's never been named a suspect. Again, I don't know who that is. If you know who that is, drop it in the DMs because I am so curious. There's other theories like, who did he have another friend that picked him up? Who was that friend that nobody knows of, that he didn't tell his family about? The hitchhiking, that he could have hitchhiked back home, but there is information out there from friends of his that knew him personally that said no way, he would have never hitchhiked back home. So did he hitchhike and run into some trouble? We don't know, but let's get this case back out there because there is a family, his son, that still needs answers as to where Zack Porter is. If you were in the area in 2013 in July and you remember his face, anything, if you remember anything, go to the tip line with the Coos County Sheriff's Department, please.